What is up, everybody? You know what it is. X on the Beach after show. So Mark is bowing out of the thruple situation. Cameron is still trying to hate on Michi regarding Ariana. And Shannon is not going to be invited to Marie's Christmas party. Let's go. Let's get it.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Dun, 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 dun,
Dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, dun.
Your favorite Devin drama.
Right.
Next on AfterBuzz TV.
Are you done with our intro music yet?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're kind of
We
taking
need to get that.
a long time.
We need
here.
to get that cracking.
I have.
Their finale's coming
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll
We
be
need to
here
get
by
up.
the finale.
By the finale. Okay, perfect.
Shit.
Perfect. What's up, everybody? You know what it is. It's your boy, Lim Gonzalez here for X on the Beach after show. Super excited because we got guests on guests on guests. Next to me, no introduction is needed, especially tonight. Since they don't play all the way in the building.
Look, sometimes you just gotta accessorize your life.
Your entire existence.
life.
That's
Entire
right. She was barred by injury, touch and go. But we're so excited that she's here.
Yay.
Messy Melody in the building.
I'm so glad I made it.
Yes, I
are
am too. Yes, exactly. Of course, my A1 since day one, the Filipino king himself, Nino and is in the building.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Nino, back at it again here on AfterBuzz. Oh,
Yes.
I didn't get the horn.
Yes.
Thank you for the horn. Yes. one more time. Hey, all right. Look at the guest.
All right.
Let's go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Guess what, y'all?
It's guest time.
It's guest time. It's guest time. Ladies and gentlemen, I was typing notes. I'm just gonna explain myself, and I was just don't even do it. Don't even. I was typing notes, and I was typing a certain name, and I called this person by the wrong name, but I'm gonna make up for it. I promise. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm super excited to have him here, and it's his birthday today. Billy's in the building. Yes.
I'm not Mark.
Not Mark.
I'm not Mark.
Yes.
Happy
Billy is in the
birthday.
building. Happy birthday,
birthday,
my
Billy.
man.
Thanks, sir.
Billy with the feel.
Yes.
Yeah.
My man.
No crying tonight.
No crap.
Can't promise, but
Look,
I'm
you
can't
trying.
promise.
I'm
Look,
trying
I'll
for
cry
no
with
crying.
you if you cry.
Hey, yeah, I got you too. I got you. Our support system over here. Ladies and gentlemen, we got another guest.
We do.
We got another guest. We got another guest. Yo, I'm super excited
Yes.
because,
It's about time.
It's about time. It's
time.
about, that's the correct word. It's
Yeah, it
about
is.
time. She is on via Skype land. Super excited to have her. She was all up in the episode. Can't wait to talk to her about it. Maria's in the building.
Hurricane Marie.
Yes,
Hurricane
all the way
Marie.
from Jersey. Yes.
You know, I feel like we start off in a really rocky relationship.
I mean,
Right?
look, your
Facts.
fans do not play.
No, they
girl.
don't.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
She's like, no, they don't.
If I say her name with just a little,
Yes,
attitude,
Thank you,
they
Marie.
come.
Happy birthday to
Yes,
Billy
Happy
again.
birthday, Billy.
I do want to give a shout out. You can't see her on camera, but we did some things with her. You know her from Are You the
Yes.
One? She always has receipts. She has a binder full of them. Carrie is with us in the studio. Yes, super excited to have her.
Just say
yes.
hi really loud.
Yeah. Yeah. Chilling.
Love it.
All right, so let's get into this episode.
Shall we?
So it starts off, it starts off with Marie, because at this point it's a continuation from the last episode, right?
Right.
And she's talking about leaving because Devin is feeling Shannon and she's like, I'm out. I'm out.
Right.
She starts packing her bags. Anthony comes over there, tries to console her. She's like, no, I'm out. I'm getting out of here. I'm feeling, some kind of way. Marie, can you take us back to that? Like, you were obviously hurt by the situation. Talk to us.
The thing I'm most hurt about is the way that the editing is going. I think solely because I'm an ex and not a single. You know, they're not showing my side of the story. There's a reason that me and Devin weren't seen for 3 episodes before this. It's because we weren't in that place.
Well,
We went on another date, all of this different stuff, right? So when I found out that she had crushed him, I went up to her because I'm not dumb. Like, I know when someone's feeling someone, and I was just like, "Are you into Devin?" And I asked her a million times because she really was my friend. I confided in her. She wasn't a single, so we had that kind of like different feeling towards this experience. Mm-hmm. She goes, "No, I would never do that. I would never." I'm like, okay. In my head, I'm like, "You def are," but like, I'm just hoping that the cameras get it,
Right.
But they don't show that yet. On the other end of it, I have Devin, who, by the way, like I was supposed to be the single, so he can relax.
Okay.
Well, I mean, can we start from the beginning, girl? Because you know I was over here pissed as hell that y'all came up on this show because I was like, first of all, I'm a fan of the challenge. I'm a fan of all of that. So I was like, when I heard both y'all was like exes, each other's exes, I was like, what, when, and where? So, girl, give us some receipts. Let us know if this is real or not because this has been a lot of talk.
Okay, so Devin and I have had a relationship for a long time. And when I say relationship, that means that we've been very, very good friends. There's always been this like special thing between us that like I apparently must have felt a lot more than he did. But anyone around us can kind of tell. So when I decided to pivot from the challenge, because I don't go to the gym that much, I'm like, what am I going to do there?
Right, I feel it.
Billy's ready.
And they needed another ex. You know, so I told him Devin. You know, he's a great TV personality, obviously, and like I really truly believed that we had something quote unquote special. What that means, I wasn't sure. But while everyone else in this house came on with relationships that they were kind of already been with and stuff like that, like this was our first actual attempt of seeing if we were into each other. And looking back, it was the worst thing that we could have ever done. Like ever, like you don't want to like, you know, try to get personal with someone that you truly have feelings about, whether friend or not, on national television, on X on the Beach. Like that's not what you're gonna do.
So there was an ongoing back and forth relationship before the show that was not really exclusive, right? But it was just like you were trying to figure it out, but then it just ended?
Well, he had a girlfriend forever.
Oh.
Right.
And I don't cross those lines. I'm not that person.
Okay.
So, you know, it was kind of a joke with us, but, you know, people kind of, I think it was clear to everyone, our friends, everyone that, like, we did have a special relationship. I think Billy can even attest to it. Like, we do have that, like, yin and yang kind of whatever that thing's called.
Speaking of Billy, since you're, since you're here, can you shed light on that?
Literally, night one, and Marie, I know you remember this. I hate that it didn't air. I'm laying in bed. Marie and Devin come in from the patio. Everybody else is in bed already, and for the two of them, were just up talking all night. And both of them get in bed with me. And I'm like, is this happening? I was like, let's go. And it was just immediate. You could, I came back from the beach and I was like, all right, the female Devin just got in the house. Like, you could tell from, like, the get-go that they're, made for each other.
Yeah.
In that sense. And Devin was ecstatic when she walked up on the beach. You could see it on his face. You could hear it in his voice.
Right.
And it was like a light switched once they got in the house and once they started hanging out and talking. And Devin, though he was, like, leading her on with it, wasn't buying into anything, wasn't allowing, he would give her like that kiss at the cut ceremony that they had and stuff like that. And you're thinking like, okay, is something actually going to happen? Or are you just going to keep talking about it and seeing what's going to happen? Or like, where is this going to go?
I mean, Marie, do you feel like maybe the producers like played it up a little bit more? I mean, because it kind of did seem like you both were like had a relationship before this. I mean, do you think it was kind of like played up too much to where whenever you guys were trying to make a connection happen, it kind of fell back on you a little bit?
No, what I think is what happened is that when I got to that house, Devin thought who he was. He had all these like people following him around. He thought he was the star of the show, like all of this nonsense. And I think he had the plan to kind of make it seem like I was the one chasing him. And every one of my friends warned me before I went in there, and they were like, you have to really be careful with Devin. Because, he can be one thing, but when he's on these shows, like,
he turns into a whole nother person.
Exactly. So I get there, and I'm kind of suspect to begin with, because I'm like, all right, like, I don't need this motherfucker going in. Sorry, I don't know if I can curse here, but...
Yeah, you can. It's fine.
Okay, cool. Like, I don't need him going into the interview and, like, talking shit about me. Like, I am my own spirit animal when I'm on the show, because it's like, I have to be. My ego's on the line. Like, it's just a weird position, and I think the second that he called me a 6... was when it kind of went off in my head where I'm like, wait a second. Like, is this kid trying to embarrass me? And from there on out, it was kind of like a struggle of power with him and I.
Well, now
that's interesting.
Speaking on that, because he tried to explain himself in that way. He said he wasn't calling you a 6. He said the relationship level was a 6. But you took it out. He was calling you, as far as looks-wise, a 6.
No,
did he ever?
Never.
No. Did he ever, like... Go ahead. Did he ever? Because I feel like he was trying to explain himself away.
Yeah. Devin's very, very good at manipulating stories.
Okay.
And he knows me very well to also know how to manipulate me. So the thing is, it was never about him. Like, first off, if he called me a 6 looks wise, I would have kicked him in the face. But the point of the matter is, it's like, listen, there's a lot of people watching this, right? And everyone has their opinions, regardless. This is my whole thought process the entire time. This is why I'm telling you that I was like so suspect, you know. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck what scale it is. You don't call me a 6. Like, in what world is a 6 a good number? You know, like, that's why I said to him, I was like, you at least owe me a 7. Like, you're not going to try to sit here and embarrass me. Like, we're friends.
Right.
Gotcha. So no matter what the capacity was for,
you just don't rate nobody.
You just don't rate nobody a 6.
Don't rate anyone. And, like, also, again, it, like, made me feel like, all right, this kid's he's trying to play me now.
Right.
And that was like the ongoing joke. Marie, you can attest to this. Like, literally the rest of the time we're at the house, Romeo, even every time he's here, numbers guy, Devin, what do you got to say? You know, like, he would tell Devin, like, why don't you rate it? You know, because everybody knew, like, how outrageous it was, like, what was being said.
Right. Well, that was not. But I had multiple conversations with him. Like, don't, like, it hurts my feelings. Like, just don't do that. Like, you know, I'm pissed off about it. Like, if a friend tells you to stop doing something, you stop doing it out of respect for them.
Right.
You know, he never did that. And then it just, like, escalated to all these different things. And he was telling me one thing, and maybe even the cameras have it, but they didn't show it.
Right.
So I'm not single in the house. You know, it doesn't play to the narrative of our story to show him being an asshole.
And this is why it was confusing for us and the fans. I mean, the fans are asking on the chat, like, so they had, like, not a relationship, but feelings towards each other, but they couldn't do it. They couldn't do anything because Devin had a girlfriend out in the real world back then. So now they come on the show to try to make that relationship work is what's really happening here. So that's the confusion there, because the way it was edited, the way it was put together, looked like they were in a relationship for a long time, and now they're here just to figure it out.
The weird thing too was, like, in the house, like, Marie, you can back me up on this. Like, you guys went on dates, and I was like, oh, things are finally picking up. Like, this is finally going to happen.
Oh, so
and
they
then
went on more dates than
all of a sudden it's like, why are you not interested anymore?
Right.
Like, and, like, all of a sudden it turned into, like, nope, I don't want to be with Marie. And I'm thinking, like, why?
What happened?
You know, like, what's going on? You know, like, give me some insight. And he would never have it.
I think it's because production was, like, in his ear, and not even that, because to be honest with you, like, if you're a real person, like, production's not going to tell me shit. I'm not going to throw my friend under a bus because you want me to say something. That's not who I am. But there was multiple times that he would come, and, like, even right before that cut ceremony, like, he was just like, like, they want me to, like, you know, talk to Shannon. And I looked at him and I'm like, but, like, I'm asking you as my friend, like, can you just not? Like, can you just respect me? We're only here. Like, I was filmed for 3 weeks. At this point, we have a week of filming left.
I also don't think after you've done 10 episodes or 10 seasons of MTV shows, like, producers aren't going to be able to get in your ear and, like, persuade you to do. You know, like, he's been around the block. He knows how the television world works.
Right.
Like, there's something going on, you know, like.
I mean, I think it says a lot about your character if producers can manipulate you to do things, even if it means at the expense of your friends.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Devin's always been a strategist. I mean, I've seen him, like, on the challenge and everything like that, and that's why I was like, when he came on the show, I'm like, why is he on this show? Like,
and he even said. Go ahead, babe.
It's annoying because I'm the same exact way, but I never get the credit. Like, for instance, when I dared him to vote for Anthony, it wasn't because, like, I was like, vote for me. It was because I was protecting Anthony. Like, Devin wanted to vote for Anthony. I know Devin's ego is huge. So I'm going to tell him to vote for me. And then, like, you know by losing his vote towards Anthony say it because I believe that Anthony deserved to be there. And I think that everyone can agree now that he did.
So have you talked to Shannon after the show yet at all?
After the show, we were talking. We're not talking currently.
Were you guys roommates? Y'all were roommates?
In the show, no.
Yeah, no? Okay, y'all didn't stay in the same room.
We were roommates when she slept in Anthony's bed, so.
The bulk of the girls slept in what was, like, the master room, and there were how many beds in there? 8, Marie?
Yeah.
They just pile y'all in.
Okay.
Yeah. There's only 3 rooms.
Yeah.
There's literally only 3 rooms.
Luckily, I have horrible snoring problems, so they're like, night 1, I kept everybody in my room up, and they're like, you can sleep on the couch.
You get your own space.
Right.
So I want to move on. So we see that there's a point in time where Mark is talking to Billy. You guys are talking about how, just relationships in general, and you're talking about being worried about Tyler showing up. And talk about that, because you kind of felt, I feel like it seems, and you could correct me, on Maria can chime in too, when you say it, it's almost like Beetlejuice. Like, as soon as you say something, then an X just shows up. And that's what it seems like what happens.
That's the thing, like, if things are going well, something's going to happen.
Exactly.
Like, people are watching from,
Well,
behind,
it gets too
behind
boring
the
if
walls
it's
and
going
stuff.
too
Exactly.
well.
The producers
spice it up.
want the show to be crazy and be outrageous. And so, like, the more stuff they can throw at you, the better the show's going to be. But, like, also the more real everything gets. Like, I was, like, kind of on easy street when Emily's just there. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, shit, this is getting real now.
Yeah.
I got to figure it. Like, it's easy to say, like, yeah, we'll figure it out when he comes around.
Right.
But then he comes around and you're like, oh, shit.
They had to throw. He was there so damn quick. Like, I feel like that storyline could have, like, been expanded a little bit more and been hella interesting to see.
Yeah.
There could have been another thruple situation that we could have dove into.
Well, I mean, my question, Billy, is like, okay, so you and Emily never talked about, you wanting to be in a relationship with a man and a woman.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, so
until that moment, right then and there.
Or did she know?
Well, so Emily and I, the reason we broke up was because I was like, look, I need more than what you're willing to offer. And we never just got back together on anything like that. She grew exponentially after we broke up, and she was very open to the idea of, like, working around something like that.
So you wanted her to be more open to you guys having an open relationship?
It was kind of the thought of an open relationship. The thing that was tough, though, was Tyler wasn't willing to be in an open relationship. So Emily was cool with the idea of, like, us dating and me being with a guy.
Okay.
But Tyler was not okay with sharing with that aspect. So if Tyler and I were to move forward, I would have to cut everything with Emily.
Got it.
Emily was cool with me having Tyler on the side, and Tyler was cool with us just, like, messing around and being friends, like, in that aspect while I'm with Emily. But if Tyler and I were to move forward, Emily would have to be out.
Okay,
Lord,
because
open relationships.
I mean, because it seems like, but that poly shit is real, y'all.
It really is.
It really is a real thing. And, like, but the thing is, it seemed like Emily wasn't really about it, though, in that moment.
And that's the thing, too, is, like,
I'm like, what you mean?
I watched while she was on here, and she said, some days I feel this way, and other days I feel completely different, and, like, being able to say exactly how you feel about certain things, it changes from day to day, and, like, you just got to keep open communication and being able to say, like, look, I'm not cool with this right now, so, like, figure it out.
I think that's one thing, being open. I mean, the whole thruple situation with Mark, Aubrey, and Coffey is kind of getting, weird in a sense, because there's communication links that are not there.
Can we talk about, though, Mark immediately brought it up. He was like, look, I'm not cool with this anymore.
Well, and he
didn't bring it up to Aubrey, though.
That's true.
He brought it up to
That's
Coffey,
very
which
true.
Coffey then brought it up to Aubrey. But also, remember, Mark did say he didn't want to be in a relationship at that point.
From the get-go.
Aubrey was into the relationship situation.
And she's like
she was
pushing it.
championing is that correct? She was championing the kind of threesome situation?
And she's leading this idea of, like, I don't know who I want to be with. She's kind of, like, baiting both of them, like, whoever wants to be with me more, show me,
I mean, but Mark was into it, okay?
For sure
I mean,
he was.
he definitely was leading on Aubrey as
Initially,
well.
I think.
But he was also saying,
Initially.
the entire time he was also saying, like, I'm here for fun. I'm not looking for anything real right now.
And she didn't catch it.
I think so.
Yeah.
But I definitely do feel like Mark, I mean, as soon as I saw him starting to talk to Coffey, I looked at Melody and I was like,
Not good.
you need to say it to Aubrey right now.
Exactly.
Like, you about to tell Coffey who's gonna run with it? Like,
And
Mark,
that's
what
why
are you thinking?
that's why I think Aubrey was upset.
Yeah.
Was because, like, you're not dating Coffey.
Right.
And she's been so open.
I don't like that Aubrey thought of it as, like, you're not dating Coffey, you're not talking to Coffey. Like, if you're in a throuple situation like that, there needs to be open communication all the way around.
Well, I think that was a defensive situation. Okay, you're not going to talk to her about what we have going on right here, because she at that moment felt like, okay, you went above me to talk to her when you should have just talked to me because we like this,
So, here's a question for both of you guys. I mean, like, you guys saw the relationship between that throuple. Did you think that it could ever work out in the real world after the house, or was it just something that was there for, like, a summer fling?
You're talking about Mark, Aubrey, and Coffey? You want to feel that?
You want to start?
Marie's smiling.
Like, two's a party, three's a crowd in that relationship. Like, that's not ever gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like, Coffey like said it from the start that like she's looking for something that's real. Like she,
Yeah.
You know, I was looking for something that's real too, and like at the end of it, similar to Coffey, I didn't want to leave on bad terms with somebody. Mm-hmm. But Mark's in a whole different place. Like,
yeah, I don't know how he thinks. I mean, Billy, I don't know. I don't know how
he thinks.
You look at Billy like,
y'all are gym buddies, so maybe you guys have a more understanding of how he thinks. Because I don't know how he be thinking.
His whole if you know about his background at all, that's for damn sure.
Yeah.
But
wait, Mark and Devin?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Mark is like a ride or die for any of the guys in the house. He, like Michi, he's all about, not so much Cam. But,
right.
Who?
The sentiments on the table.
But no, like Mark comes from like a very, very chaotic background. Mm-hmm. His story growing up is very singular. Like not very many people know. But so the thought of him thriving on this chaos, it's very understandable, and I get where he's coming from with it. But the idea that like he's turned on by it, like
he loves red flags.
My mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
I can't red flags. I'm like just like this thing in the back. X no.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Well,
it was crazy.
About,
right.
Marie finding love.
Right. Before we move on to our next topic, Nino, you have something to tell us.
Yes, guys. Before we move on, we just want to we want to say thank you for letting us be the ESPN of Talk TV, of TV Talk, and we just want to ask you to do us a couple things. If you can go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel right now while you're watching this, give us a thumbs up right now while you're watching this as well too. And we're also on iTunes and Spotify, so you could download our podcast there, give us some ratings, and let us know how we're doing. For us to be able to thrive over here and for us to be able to do what we do every single day, we need some of that help, and we need you guys to do that for us. So if you can do that for us, that would be amazing. 5 stars all the way. And let us know what you think of the show thus far. We love talking to you guys, and we'll definitely shout you guys out on the chat.
Booyah. I want to go back to Marie. Marie, so the whole situation with Shannon and Devin. So it from what it seemed like to us, and you can definitely shed light on it, it seemed like Devin was kind of like, all right, look, Marie, I'm going to move on. And he decided to move on with Shannon. You were not happy about that. And so he's chilling by the pool and they start kissing. You're looking on and you're just
you
like,
see through that window, Marie?
First and foremost.
Yes, please.
You were hugged up on that window, girl.
Shannon. Okay, I'm not upset about that. Like, it was never about Shannon. It was the fact that, like, Devin's a disrespectful motherfucker. 2, if your ex is on a date outside of your window and you don't look, are you serious? Like, are you really serious? Like, what am I gonna do?
I mean, you're in the house.
Like,
I get it.
You need to grow. You need to grow. And I was like, Aubrey, shut up. Like, and she came and she looked with me. Like, listen, it's very, very boring in that house. Like, and also, I'm used to being on TV. If I'm going to put myself on national television on a dating show, like, I want to bring the viewers because, like, that's what we're here to do, right? Like, no.
Wow, that's the most realist thing I've ever heard somebody say on the show.
I mean, and if you think about it, your ex is really on another date. So, like, what you gonna do? Sit there, read a book? I mean, I do feel you.
Right.
Name one other guy in the house that's single.
Billy's like me. Well, I'm glad you said that because it's very honest. Go ahead, Melody.
Well, no, I just wanted to say in the past too. I know some of your fans went back and told you that some of us were calling you boring or whatever, and I was like, no, that's not what we said. Me personally, watching you chase after Devin the whole time when he was showing you nothing, I was like, that's fucking boring. I'm tired of seeing him pie her off all the time. Mm-hmm. Now that she's turning up and is like, Devin, don't do it. I'm like, I'm here for this. It's good TV. So yeah, I'm here for it all the way. Not boring. The situation was boring. You're not boring. Let's clear that up.
Was boring.
Yes. Facts.
Yeah.
I bet it was boring.
I really am. I'm usually fucking cool. I usually am fun to be around. But when you get me to that point, and I got cameras in my face, which is gonna make me on one that much more because now it's like, okay, like, let's fucking go. You're not embarrassing me. I'm not gonna sit here and act like a little bitch. Like, I can't do that. My mom taught me, like, I'm not gonna do that.
Right.
Like I kind of do that.
One thing I did want to bring up because obviously when it was X time, it was Mark, Coffey, and Marie.
Yeah.
You guys went out to the beach, and lo and behold, who washes up on the shore is your ex Jason, stockbroker from New York. Yes, and you like run to him, like you literally sprint to him. You see him, and I'm assuming, and you can confirm because everything that's been going on with Devin, you're like, look, somebody that I can gravitate towards, and somebody that's got my back. Is that it?
Did you see what he looked like?
He's fine.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I was a lone soldier in that house. At that point, I think that me and Billy were even fighting because I had asked.
Really?
I had asked Billy how Emily was gonna vote in that last cut ceremony with the twins. Because I wanted to see.
And she was
literally just gotten there that day, and I was like
desperate for Cam
because
she did not like Cam.
Yeah.
Oh, so you had to talk about that.
Marie in one of her like stupors. I think it was that night that you were flipping out on deck.
Stupors, and she was like, "What?
What?
Yo, come on!" And you were like, "How is Emily voting?" And I was like, "I think she's voting Cam." And you were like, "Please talk her into voting for Allie," because like.
Well, and then,
I mean, come on.
Freaking Emily
why
brings
not?
it up during the cut ceremony. I'm like, bitch, you know who I am. Like, shut the fuck up.
Say my name.
Right. We do see, because speaking of your dude, he didn't turn out to be Prince Charming.
As fine as he was.
Right. He turned out to be more of a toad. And you throw this Y2K party, right, Marie? And basically,
I want to do here in the studio.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That was fresh.
Yeah.
Your boy Jason starts getting lit. He slaps Kenya on the butt.
Hella hard.
I mean, it was like a hand to the chest moment.
After he grabbed your ass on the beach.
I was like, yo.
I don't know if it's because I know him, but throughout this entire season, I have never laughed as hard as I did as watching that scene and how ridiculous he is. But he's really cool with Kenya. Like, I swear they're on good terms now. Like,
Yeah.
nothing like that.
Yeah.
And you heard me. Like, every time he was doing something, I'm like, yo, like, you gotta chill. But like, listen, I knew Jay was gonna be messy, and like, this is a messy ass show. So
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like.
I mean, but I was like hoping you was gonna like, you know,
Right, 'cause he
get
came
it
on.
on. You know, after the party, like, you know, Anthony came, he got too wasted, and now we had Jason come. I was like, oh, she gonna get her some, like,
Nope.
and then
He's not
Yeah, your fellas do not hold their liquor very well.
No.
It's so embarrassing.
Yeah, Billy. For
Teach
you,
him, girl,
how
teach
was
him.
how was the party? Like, what did you have going on in the party?
There was a lot that actually went on that didn't get aired. Jay and I actually had like an altercation where like some stuff was said and like him and I got face to face on some things. Like Devin got into it with him. Like a bunch of people were very upset
Really?
with Jay.
really.
And we did no one like Jay. And like to the point where he was apologizing the next
I
morning.
need this to be like an MTV extras on.
But like
Yeah.
it was all stuff that like you saw the good gist of it just from the edit that was
Got
aired.
it.
You know.
That was like a fun party.
It was a fun
It was
party.
my party.
The funny
It
thing
was fun.
the funny thing though was the fact that the one person that was actually like a star in the 90s was in her bed the entire night. So, and Aubrey didn't come out of her bed because she got pissed off because Mark didn't want to fuck her anymore.
Oh.
Oh damn! That wasn't even like highlighted.
I threw the party because Aubrey didn't want to throw it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It
what
was supposed to be Aubrey's party, and Marie was like, "Whatever, fuck it." Like, if Aubrey just wants to be in her bed,
right.
And Aubrey and Kelly, which you didn't see the entire episode, were in their bed. Just
So-
soul
Kelly
sleeping.
sleep too?
Yeah.
Was she sleepy? Like
Kelly didn't do anything.
I mean,
Kelly
if I
started-
was Kelly, I'd be asleep too.
Kelly started getting
Like,
upset because Michi wasn't interested, and so she just
that's
stayed in her bed.
Yeah.
She didn't get out
That's
of
right.
bed.
Because she was all on. He was
That's
all about
true.
Ariana.
I mean,
Ariana.
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 So, speaking of that, we do see that there is a huge situation where Mark and Coffey are talking, you know, about Aubrey. And basically, he says that Aubrey's being two-faced. Feels like Coffey's being disrespected. So it's almost like he was riding for Coffey, which is
Yeah,
interesting
he's trying
because
to open up to Coffee.
yeah, but I'm like, you're supposed to be dating.
he's making
Aubrey.
an excuse
He's trying to find a way out
out
at this
of
moment.
it.
So
Right.
he's over it. What was your take on that?
I think not necessarily making an excuse, but he's starting to see like who she really is. And he's starting to say, like, what am I doing? I'm making a mistake. Like, I want out of this. Let's find a reason why. And there it is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe her. I don't trust her. I don't want to be in this anymore.
He was trying to find an escape route.
Gotcha.
That situation, because he, like he said, he doesn't want to be in a relationship, and he got a little too close.
Got very real very quickly.
Situation, exactly. So but I think it would have worked out fine because Coffey would have been like, "Oh, cool, I got it.
Yeah.
I'll just swoop right in."
I mean, I think the end of the story, Aubrey wanted to be more with Mark than Coffey. I mean, I think that's the realistic situation here.
Well, that's what it looked like on TV.
Yeah.
Right.
But you know,
what did you think about? And this is for everybody. When we see Cameron confronting Michi, and this has happened before, about Ariana and about him choosing her. Like, I just was like, you already gave him the blessing, and then you've backtracked several times. It seems like, and it's almost like because no one is checking for him. I mean, can you speak?
I want to add on to your thing too.
Yeah, please.
What did he say? He said something about substantial questions, or what was that term?
She didn't ask the right something about her asking the right
you didn't
questions.
ask me the right questions, and I played
That's
you for
why
over a year.
So I'm confused. Is there supposed to be questions asked in a relationship like that? Like, or isn't it supposed to be trusted?
I don't know.
I don't want to say the wrong thing because I know Marie and Cam are friends.
I'm confused.
Oh, girl.
Marie, help us here.
Yeah,
Let
help us talk to
Well, Maria,
us
I'm
about
gonna
your
let
boy.
you speak.
Yeah. Give her the floor.
All right, listen. Cam, real dumb.
All right.
I think he's a nice guy, but damn, like.
But he's just real dumb. Here's the thing, though. The girls that he's with are dumber because they were accepting it. So, like, everything he said to them, he was truly being honest. It's kind of like that notion where it's like, oh, well, I'm not with you, so I could be with someone else. Motherfucker, you know you can't. Like, you're not gonna like play me, but like that's what I would be like. That's what majority of women would be like. I would hope so. But you saw them in the Shack of Secrets. Like, he was saying it, and they were both kind of championing it. So it's like, I think it's a weird situation. Cam, like, I'm one of the ones that actually got along with him. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I like to see him in uncomfortable situations. But
You should have watched the after show when he was on.
And then when he was talking to Michi, I think it really came from a place of him being like, you know, he realized he fucked up to begin with, but, you know, he didn't want to see Ariana hurt. And everyone's going to take that the wrong way, and as they should. But I don't think there was bad intentions behind it, because I don't think that Cam thinks that much.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like, he could have said, like, I just don't want her to get hurt, point blank, period. But then he goes on, I just need to know if I have a chance, or I need to know if I'm gonna, you know, if I should just let it go, or like be in the background, like, okay, it's not gonna work. Like, if he just would have genuinely been like, you know what, I just want to make sure she's good.
Yeah.
Then it's different.
It just sounded
over
like
here backtracking, boy.
It just sounded like only I can fuck you over.
He wanted to be like, you're a hypocrite, you know, like, that was what he was out to get.
And he turned everybody else's situation into comparing it to his
Right,
situation.
I saw
Right,
you
which
noticed
makes
that.
no sense.
Yeah, like everybody was like, nah, son, that ain't working. That ain't working. That ain't working
The
at all.
tough thing for me too is, like, you hear Cameron and Michi trying to like discuss this out, and they're talking about the girls like they're they're theirs.
Yeah.
They're things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, these are human beings that are like trying to make their own decisions too.
And that's my whole point. It's like, you know, yes, the girls might be stupid for staying in this situation, but the person who's breaking them down to stay into that situation is the person in the middle. So, you know, hopefully they grow from this.
Absolutely. Well,
growth.
Well, we do have to let Marie go. But Marie, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Give it up.
What?
Yeah, did she want to talk about the meltdown?
Oh, yes.
The meltdown?
Yes, please.
Hurricane Marie.
Do you want to say something about the
Yeah,
meltdown?
please.
Say it.
Which one?
Whichever you
What
want
you
to
left
share.
us with.
Well, yeah, how the show ended with Shannon and Devin. Right.
That freaked me out. Listen, again, I had multiple conversations with Devin being like, don't do this to me. Like, if you do this to me, we're not friends anymore. And I really didn't think that he was going to cross that boundary based off what he was telling me without the cameras around. Shame on me. I was really upset, although a lot of those clips that they pull from, that you see in the entire episode, are pulled from things that were completely not related.
In the kitchen scene and all that stuff?
What?
The kitchen scene of you, like...
Oh,
You'll see a lot of editing with like people in different outfits and different.
I didn't even think about that.
If you don't see people's faces, it's from a whole different week. You know, stuff
Yeah,
like
they're
that.
good for that. They're good for
It's
that.
tough.
They'll get
sometimes.
They're good for that.
I was very, very drunk in that kitchen.
Eating nachos.
I tried to leave the night before, but there's something called a contract, and if I had left without being forced out, you don't make any money. So what am I gonna do? Like, like anyone out there, if you're in a bad relationship or you know something's not right, remove yourself. But I wasn't in that position. I couldn't do that. You know, like
you're on a television show.
It's So there's that, and I guess we'll see what happens.
Oh, we'll see what happens. She's gonna spill something right now.
I know.
Just waiting it. Letting it go. Letting it go.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, we appreciate you being around.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
I swear I thought she was about to say something. Say it.
She was like, next week. You're going to see next week. So I think this is a good segue into Minute with Uncle Lem.
Minute with Uncle Lem.
Yeah, it's that time. It's that time. It's that time.
I love that time.
So this is, you know how I do. Sometimes it's, uplifting. Sometimes I'm throwing a little bit of shade.
Yeah.
This time, this is directed to the couch. This is the couch that broke when Shannon and Devin were playing on it.
Oh my God, I'm done.
So, to the couch. How did you not withstand Shannon and Devin? Devin is shorter than me, and Shannon has got to be 4'11" and 3/4. How can you hold Mr. and Mr. Olympus, aka Billy and Mark, and then not withstand Devin and Shannon? Are you from IKEA, reject men? Were you assembled by Santa's elves that have warrants? I need you to be stronger.
Santa's elves.
You are the unsung cast member. Act like you came from Ashley Home Furnishings or Bentley Furniture or even Bob's Discount Furniture.
Bob's.
Something. You weren't put together by a 5-year-old with Elmer's glue. Get your weight up like you were at the state pen. And that's all I have to say.
Okay.
Boom. There it is.
All furniture was from IKEA.
Was it?
It wasn't from HD Buttercup. It wasn't from Restoration Hardware.
I knew there was something up with IKEA.
Come on.
Right. I mean, but really, like, you
I
gotta.
love IKEA though. IKEA.
You gotta be able.
It was a sectional. Each piece just fell apart. So like,
Yeah.
Is that
they were
what
just moving too fast and too
There
quick,
you
and
go.
it
And too hard.
It kept happening. Like
It
but
happened
They
to-
just weren't thinking about it.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, they were just being
Word.
idiots.
Wow.
Still a good lunch.
The chat, not the
lunch
couch. I'm
portion.
dead.
Right. Going back to your situation, Billy. So yeah, come on. It's actually Billy's birthday, and we got Billy a little something. Yes. So what it is. So we got the pimp cup.
Birthday cake quest bar.
Yes.
Protein bar.
Yes, because you're buff.
I already drank my beer though. I don't need a pimp cup anymore.
No, it's all good. That's all good.
It's to hold your birthday cake quest bar.
Yes,
That's what I'm talking
yes,
about.
that's
You know
what it
what
is.
I'm
Yes, yeah,
Happy
absolutely,
birthday.
absolutely. I told you I would
We
make
weren't
it
sure
up.
if you were cutting and slow carbs. Like
Right.
carbs.
We didn't want to mess
You know
up
what I
any
mean?
type of routine.
I think it's
Right.
1 gram of sugar.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be
Talking
okay.
about.
All
Macros
good.
are good. You should be fine, bro.
Absolutely. But yeah, we wanted to go back to the situation because we touched on it a little bit, but with Emily, and when we see your homeboy come in and that whole situation, it seemed like. And I think Sensei was talking to it, but it seemed like you were bringing it up at the moment, and like neither of them were knowing where you were going with that, especially Emily. Was that the case, or were you kind of just trying to make it work?
Well, let's be honest. The word exclusive got used way too much in
Yeah.
that situation.
Okay.
Can we just talk about
That's
that?
the second question.
I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need that cut out so I can put it on my social media so everyone knows I'm not that big of an idiot. Like I understand what the word exclusive means, but the idea that look, I want to be with 2 people and I wanted to be with the 2 of you, and that's it. That was my idea.
Did they know each other before this?
They had met. It wasn't anything, honestly. Like Tyler and I have worked together for about a year at that point. And just recently, like right before the show kind of started, we had started seeing each other.
Got it.
And it was,
my
it was like week before I left for the show.
Yes.
I went back to Ohio and I told my mom, I told my family, like, hey, I'm seeing a guy right now. And they're all like, what? They were all very cool with it. But like, for me, it was still like, I was still coming out to people. Like, people have no idea. Like, people I work with, like, this episode aired, I'm getting text messages right now like, hey, just saw you making out with a dude. What the hell?
People
And I'm
don't
like-
listen. People do not listen. You mentioned this in the beginning.
You know,
and
so
people
yeah.
on social media are like, what?
And the idea, like, Emily came into work a couple times while I was working, and I'd introduce her to Tyler. And what's funniest is like the first time I said, Tyler, this is my ex Emily, and he goes, nice to meet you. And I was
Really?
like, oh, shoot.
Yeah, he's being shady.
Okay.
Right.
And I knew, like, right from the get-go, like, Tyler was not okay with me seeing somebody else if him and I were to move forward. And so Tyler and I moving forward would mean Emily would have to be out of the equation.
Okay.
What's nice at this point is Tyler's not in the house. So, like, you know, sitting down and talking with Tyler, you know, that makes things tougher moving forward. But at this point, like, Tyler's out of the equation and Emily and I are still together. So...
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Word. Do you have any news and gossip?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Okay. Let's go to news and gossip.
Okay, so a couple weeks ago, I've been out for a while,
Yeah,
but a
yeah.
couple weeks ago, Marie went on live and was talking about Aubrey, and I guess had blocked her, and they're beefing, but
We've
I have
all
no.
been blocked by Aubrey.
What?
All of
Why?
us.
Speak on
I'm
it.
blocked on Instagram. I'm blocked on Twitter. If you post anything that's like, I posted a photo when she was like, I'm the Beyonce of this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I posted that screenshot of her like throwing her hands up in the air, and she thought that was not a good looking photo of her, so she blocked me.
Really?
That's it.
So is she talking to anybody in the cast right now?
I'm sure she's
Shannon?
talking to some people.
Shannon,
Oh, is it Shannon?
But, like,
yeah.
He's like, I don't know.
Do you know what the beef is with Marie and Aubrey? No.
I know Maria and Mark are friends, and they bust chops a
that
lot. So
makes
like,
sense.
they probably
It's probably
said
what it
something
is,
that like
yeah.
rubbed her the wrong way, and
Right,
like,
right.
Got it.
you know,
Okay.
sorry, Danity Kane's not together anymore, but like,
They
come
are.
on,
though.
girl.
I still bump them all the time.
I'm not gonna front.
No,
Right,
I agree. They were great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're still great.
Sure. But
Stop it.
I love Danity Kane. Period.
They're still on tour.
Period.
Icons.
Yeah,
Icons.
And then our
3 out of the 4, right?
It was 5.
3 out of the 5. Shoot.
Gotcha.
anyway.
We got most of them there.
Yeah.
60%.
Yeah.
And then our guest actually was at the Emmys, and was that a friend or a date? Can we talk about that, or
Let's
is
Talk
it
about
under?
that
We're
until
not.
the end of the episode.
Okay.
Until the end of the
Well,
season.
okay.
Then we'll get
It's
back to
someone
that.
I'm seeing though. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Cool.
we've seen it. We've seen it.
My significant other is beautiful, and I love her.
Oh,
Okay, some tea.
There it is.
All right.
There it is. Before we get into predictions.
Predictions.
Thank you. I think we should sing Happy
No,
Birthday to
we don't.
Billy.
Yes!
Yes! We have to! We have to! And you have to hold your pimp cup! Yes! Ready?
Are you bashful right
Yeah,
now?
I hate this.
It's but
it.
it's gotta happen.
seriously.
You're here on your birthday.
And this camera's on.
Who's singing? Because I don't sing.
All of us.
Since
We're all
I can just
singing.
dance
I'll lead the choir.
All right.
Me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Billy. Happy birthday to you. Hey!
All right, next thing. What are we doing next? All
One
right.
more thing.
Yes.
I do want to ask this. Okay, so you were saying you was a little petty trying to get
Sure, Max.
out the building. I want to know what is one of your pettiest, like one of the pettiest things you've ever done to like one of your like exes.
How about this?
Tell it.
And I know she'll never watch this. She's not a social media person. But my significant other, we were at the Emmys.
Okay.
And so they have seat fillers.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I watch, literally you get up out of your seat, somebody's sits in your seat. They don't want any footage of any open seats down
Right.
the floor.
Right.
We're the 12th row from the front. Like, we're very close. And I watch a group of seat fillers go by, and one of my ex-girlfriends was a seat
No,
filler.
shut up.
Sits 5 rows behind me, and I look back and I see her sit down. She didn't see me, and I lean in and I say, "Hey," because we wanted to eat. It goes on for 3.5 hours. We wanted
Yeah.
to step out and eat, have a drink, whatever.
Right.
And so I go, "Hey, when we step out to eat, drink, go to the restroom, like, would you mind giving me a kiss and then just pulling me up the aisle?"
Eddie.
And so,
Did you
love
wave
it.
while you were
we
getting
stand
kissed?
up and walk, and I didn't look at her. I didn't make eye contact or anything, but I could just feel her eyes
Oh
on me.
my god.
I love a good petty moment.
It felt so good. I was so happy. Yeah, it was awesome.
What is this music? Wait a minute.
Shout out to our engineer. Shout out to engineer Steph. Yes, that's great. That's great. Hey. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has been our show. Yes, I know. Thank to the Billy for being here. Happy birthday to Billy. Coming in on his birthday. Yes. Shout out to Marie who was joining us via Skype. Thank her so much. Man, I can't believe we're like close to the season ending.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, literally, it's coming to an end. It's interesting, but I think it's getting better and better. I'm really excited to see what happens with that Marie and Shannon and Devin situation.
She has really great taste in guys, by the way. Because Jason, fine. That's his name, right? Anthony B, fine.
But they can't hold their...
Devin,
yeah, they can't. Yeah, they do horrible at parties. Yeah, horrible at parties. Yeah.
It's okay.
I've been your host, Lim Gonzalez. You know me, a.k.a. Uncle Lim. And you can find me everywhere at... Lim Gonzalez. Sinse, where you at?
You guys know to follow me at Since They Don't Play, and it's SINSE.
Well,
okay.
No.
And you guys can check me out everywhere at Melody_Rose.
You guys can check me out at Neil and Aaron on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Billy, where can the fans find you, sir?
Just search my name. I'm somewhere on there.
Yes.
There it is.
Feeling.
There it is, exactly. And we will see you next week. And our guest next week, I'm not going to tell you because you got to tune in, but it's happening. It's going down. See you next week. Peace.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.